Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jayatam Surataurpango Mama Mandamaterkati Matsarvaswapadambojav Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadav Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastav Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshta Livi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshi Patatatastitaha Karshan Venusvanair Gopi Gopinatha Striyestunaha तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिय नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahaya Hemava Divya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Hare Krishna. Thank you all, dear devotees, for very kindly joining. We didn't have book reading for the last few days. We had some programs, some youth programs that were going on. We did a 3-day camp here at Seattle. We did one last year around August. And we did one more this time. So last weekend was a 3-day youth camp where you had kids from the age of 8 till 20 who participated. About 45-50 kids were there each day. So it was very wonderful connecting with so many kids, chanting, hearing late night kirtans. The program started at 6 o'clock in the evening and would go up till 1 o'clock at night. And all the kids were there. So no adults, just the kids. The youth, in fact. So 3 days of very nice absorption. And so that's the reason we couldn't have it during that time. But I'm very happy and glad that we have all again met to chant and hear about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Shastras very beautifully explains Nityananda Maham Naumi Sarvananda Karam Param Harinama Pradam Devam Avaduta Shiromani. We see that tomorrow is the appearance day of Nityananda Prabhu. If we are joining in from America, which means it's another few hours. If you're in the West Coast, it's another 3 hours. If you're in the East Coast, it's already Nityan Trayodasi. And if you're in India, it's in probably another 24 hours. But it's tomorrow for most devotees. And the Shastras explain Nityanandam Aham Naumi Sarvananda Karamparam. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is Sarvanandam. His name is Nitya Ananda. All of us in this world are looking for happiness. There is probably no one who would volunteer to say that I don't want happiness, but I want distress. No one. We are all looking for happiness. But sadly, we're looking for happiness in the wrong place. The propensity is right, but the direction is wrong. But real happiness, Shastra explains, can be found by worshipping the personality who is an embodiment of happiness. His name itself is Nityananda. What more do we want? We are looking for happiness and unke naam mein Anand hai. His name itself is Nitya Ananda, constant happiness. Not flickering happiness, Not temporary happiness, permanent, constant happiness, जो शाश्वत है, no end, no stoppage, nitya ananda. Harinam pradam devam. What does he give? He gives Harinam. Door to door, house to house. He knocks at everyone's door and gives Sri Nam Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu has opened the marketplace of the holy name by loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is tasting the fruit. Prema rasa niryas korite aswadan, rag marg bhakti loke korite pracharan, rasika shekhara Krishna parama karuna, ei doe hetu hoite ichhara utkama. The Supreme Lord comes down, prem ras niryas korite aswadan. He's coming down to taste this fruit of prem. Radha bhav. Radha bhavadviti suvalitam naumi Krishna swarupam. He's coming down to taste the mood of Radharani. So he is busy in Jagannath Puri. He is busy in Gambhira, tasting the fruit. Now it's possible that he gets so absorbed in tasting the fruit that he forgets why he has come down. He has come down for two reasons. Premras niryas korite aswadan, to taste. But second, rag marg bhakti loke korite pracharan, to do prachar. But if he is only tasting the fruit, who will do the prachar? So Nityananda Prabhu tells that, my dear Lord, you taste. You taste the fruit, giving out to everyone, that I will do. You give that job to me, I will do that. And from house to house, door to door, Nityananda Prabhu goes with Haridas Thakur. And they enthuse everyone and convince everyone and inspire everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Leha Gaurangero Namere, Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Se Hoy Amara Pranare, Se Hoy Nitaira Pranare. They become the life and soul of Nityananda Prabhu. Because this name of Gauranga, it doesn't consider offenses. Even Hare Krishna Mahamantra considers offenses. 10 Nama Aparads. Deity worship, 32 deity aparads. So holy name, 10 aparad. Deity worship, 32 aparad. The number is only increasing. But for Gauranga Mahaprabhu's name, Gaur Nam, Gaur Dham, Gaur Rupa Gun, Aparada Nahimani Tarite Nipun. These four things connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu don't consider offenses. What are the four things? Gaura Nam, Gaura Dham, Gaura Rupa Gun. The name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the pastime place of Mahaprabhu, which is Navadvip Dham, Nadia. Gaura Roop, his form, and Gaura Gun, his qualities. Aparada Nahimani Tarite Nipun. They don't consider offenses. And Tarite Nipun, they're expert. They're Nipun. Nipun means expert. They're expert in delivering. So, how important it is, dear devotees, to constantly chant the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because it doesn't consider offenses and it pleases Nityananda Prabhu. The best way of pleasing, capturing the heart, conquering the heart of Nitai is to chant the name of Gaura. And the best way of pleasing Gaura's heart is to chant the name of Nitai. And when the name of Nitai and Gauranga are chanted, Radha and Krishna are satisfied. And when Radha and Krishna are satisfied, Gurudev is satisfied. And when Gurudev is satisfied, the whole Sampradaya is satisfied. And when the whole Sampradaya is satisfied, congratulations. Time to go back home, back to Godhead. We have become qualified to go back home, back to Godhead. So it starts with Nityananda Prabhu. It starts with Nitai. And we see tomorrow is his appearance day, Nityananda Trayodashi. The day Shri Nityananda Prabhu appears in this world. Nityananda Prabhu, his parents are Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi. And Nityananda Prabhu also had a brother by the name Bankim Rai or Banka Rai. So, Banka basically means a Bank or Bankim. Banka Rai, that was the name that was given. Banka or Banke, like the way they say in Vrindavan, means bent. Like Krishna is called Banke or is called Banka. Basically means he has 3 bends. 3 bends in his body. Because he's taking the weight of the love of the Brajavasis. And now because of the weight of the love of the Brajavasis, Krishna has 3 bends in his body. Likewise, Banka Rai. Rai means Radharani. And Banka means Krishna. So Krishna and Radharani, Radha and Krishna, which is nothing but Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So his name was Nitai and his brother's name was Banka Rai. And both these brothers were born in Eka-Chakra. Very wonderful, very glorious brothers. And one time our acharyas explained that both of them went to a village, which was the village of their maternal grandfather. They went to a village, which was the village of the maternal grandfather. And as they went there, the villagers, they warned Nityananda Prabhu and Bankarai that please don't go there, because in the village, deep inside the forest, there is a tamal tree. And underneath that tamal tree, there is a snake. And this snake just devours and kills everyone. So, my dear Nitai, my dear Bankarai, please don't go. But Nityananda Prabhu will not hear. So he went, and he was very small. He has not even met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the childhood pastimes of Nitai. Oftentimes we hear the pastimes of Nitai when he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But seldom do we hear the childhood pastimes of Nitai. So Nitai goes to this village. And when the villagers tell him that, no, please don't go, Nityananda Prabhu doesn't hear. And Nityananda Prabhu goes. And sure enough, underneath the tamal tree, he sees a snake. Big, gigantic snake slithering. And when he sees Nitai, he comes forward to devour Nityananda Prabhu. But Nityananda Prabhu stops. And the snake can kill others, but he cannot kill Nitai. Why? Because Nitai himself is Ananta Shesh. The snake can kill other personalities, but he's Ananta Shesh. He's Nagaraj. He's the king of all the snakes. What can a servant do? He is one small baby snake who's there under some tree. But here is Nityananda Prabhu's Ananta Shesh. And as Ananta Shesh, in his millions of hoods, he holds so many planets and so many universes. So what can this one snake in some village underneath one tamal tree, what can he do to Nityananda Prabhu? Nothing. So Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. And this snake had some intelligence. Fortunately, he got some intelligence. So he understood. And Nityananda Prabhu told him that, why are you doing this? Why are you killing people and why are you devouring people? Because he had this habit that he would kill human beings. And whoever came was Mahaprasad for him. So he would kill. No mercy shown. So Nityananda Prabhu asked him, why are you doing this? And the snake said, my dear Lord, what is my fault in this? Let me tell you that there is some history to this. So he takes Nityananda Prabhu one yuga prior. So now let's go back to Dwapar Yuga. So the snake is now narrating a story to Nityananda Prabhu and takes him one yuga prior, which is Dwapar Yuga. In Dwapar Yuga, when the Pandavas, the Pancha Pandavas, were wandering in different places, they eventually came to the house of one very poor Brahmana whose name was Vedashrava. Now, Vedashrava was supported by his wife and two children, one son and one daughter, a 10-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. Now, the Pandavas were in disguise. As we know, during the Agyatwas, they were in disguise going here and there. So they came to the house of Vedashrava, the Brahmana, and they said that, can we stay here for some time? And even though Vedashrava was poor, he agreed. He himself did not have much, but still he goes on to extend his help. This is sadhu of the highest caliber. Whether we have or not, with whatever we have, ready to give half to them. So Pandavas were staying along with Kunti Maharani. So 5 plus 1, 6, and the 4 family members. So 10 people in one house. And now every day they would go out to beg alms. Vedashrava would go out to beg alms, and the 4 Pandavas, they would also go, and one of them, one of the Pandava who was left over, he will take care of Kunti Devi. So 4 brothers will go out along with Vedashrava to get alms, and they would all come back and they would have. And this went on for a good amount of time. And one day, Kunti Devi, as she was sitting, she heard the Brahmani crying, the wife of the Brahmana. She heard the wife of Vedashrava crying. So Kunti Devi went inside and said, what happened? Why are you crying? And the wife of Vedashrava, she explained that in this village, there is a demon. And the name of this demon is Bakasur. Now, he may not technically, dear devotees, he may not technically be the same Bakasur that we find in Krishna Lila. The name may be same. Because The reason he's not the same Bakasur is Krishna killed him when he was small. And now the Pandavas are in Agyatavas, which means Krishna has grown up comparatively. So it cannot be the same demon. So it's probably another demon, but having the same name. In Shastra, we find many times different personalities with the same names. So this demon was Bakasur. So Brahmana's wife, Vedashrava's wife, is now narrating to Kunti Devi that this demon is there and every day he kills. He has this habit of killing. So every day he would come outside to the village and he would just randomly pick anyone and he would kill. So the villagers got so angry that they went to Bakasur and said, look, you anyway want to kill. Let's do one thing. Let's strike a deal. You don't come out. We will give you what you want. Every single day we'll send you one human being, 2 buffaloes to eat, and we'll send you some cart full of rice and dal and whatever it is. But you don't come out. We will give it to you. Now this demon said, wonderful. I don't even have to go and hunt. सामने से भोजन यदि आ रहा है तो मुझे कहीं जाने की आवश्यकता भी है नहीं. Wonderful. He said, okay, I will not go anywhere. So food was coming to him, not prasadam, but food was coming to him. And now it was the day of Vedashrava to go to Bakasur. Now it was his time. So the wife was crying. She was thinking that if he goes, he will not come. The demon will kill. So when Kunti Devi was hearing this, parallelly, Vedashrava and his own son, they were fighting. The son was saying, no, father, I will go. And the father was saying, no, I will go. So they both were fighting amongst each other. And when Kunti Devi heard all of this, she said, no one will go. I have 5 sons, but you have only 1. I can spare 1 son. But if you lose your son or you lose your husband, everything is gone. But I am ready to spare 1 of my son. So she called Bhima. And now she knew the strength of Bhima. She knew how strong Bhima is. So she called Bhima and said, Bhima, this is the story. Why don't you go? And Bhima was always ready for a fight. He's almost like a WWE wrestler. He's almost looking for a fight. So he said, wonderful, I will go. I will go and meet this demon. So he went with this cart full of rice and dal and 2 buffaloes. And by the time Bhima reached the place of the demon, Bhima had finished the whole cart himself. It is meant for the demon, but he finished the whole cart himself, not keeping anything for the demon. Now this infuriated demon even more, because ideally this was his Mahaprasadam. This was his Mahaprasade Govinde, but now Bhima had finished everything. So now this infuriated, this made him angry really. And there was a battle between the demon and Bhima. And this demon uprooted trees and he threw at Bhima, and Bhima was no less. He also uprooted trees and threw it back. And both were very powerful. And at the end, Bhima defeated and killed this demon. And now he was coming back empty cart. There was nothing. After killing and after exercising, nicely doing his gym work, he was now coming back. खाना खा लिए, पूरा जो कार्ट में था पूरा खाना खा लिए, और अब थोड़ा कसरत भी हो गया. Some exercise is also done. Now he was coming back. Now as he was coming back, Arjuna met Kunti Devi, and now Kunti narrated the whole story. So Arjuna thought to himself, my brother is in danger. He is alone fighting the demon and he may need help. So Arjuna decided to go. He took his Gandiva and he took his arrows and he was going. And as he was going, he thought, it's possible that I may be late. By the time I am there, probably my brother may be injured or the battle may be done. So I have to do something. So he shot his Nagapash, the arrow of snakes. He shot his Nagapash. And he told the Nagapash that please go there and bind that demon and give protection to my brother Bhima. Now Bhima doesn't need protection. And Arjuna has no idea that the demon has already been killed. But out of love for his brother, he shoots the Nagapash. Now it goes. The snake is going, and while the arrows are going from the opposite side, Bhima is coming. And now Bhima narrates that, oh, the demon has already been killed. And Arjuna says, Hare Krishna, I have already shot the Nagapash. Now I cannot take it back. There were arrows like Brahmastra and Nagapash are such that once they're shot, they cannot be taken back. They are not like some plastic arrows that we find in India, 5-10 rupees. जो बच्चे लोग होते हैं उनको खेलने के लिए खरीदते कभी कभी 5-10 रुपए का, ऐसा नहीं है. They are Nagapash and they are Brahmastra. So one shot cannot be taken back. So now Arjuna thinks to himself, which means the snake arrow or the snake has already reached that place, and I have to do something because the demon has been killed and now the snake will be hungry, so he will be roaming here and there. So Arjuna goes there and he tells the snake that I cannot take you back, but let's do one thing. You stay under this tamal tree. You stay under this tree, and whoever comes here, you kill and devour. You don't go from here, but whoever comes here, you should kill and you should eat them. That is your Mahaprasad. So now that snake is telling Nityananda Prabhu, my dear Lord, what is my problem? What is my fault? Arjuna, who is your associate, he gave me that instruction and I am here. So I am devouring everyone and eating. What is my fault? Nityananda Prabhu says, no, this will not work. Nityananda Prabhu tells him that you will not eat any human being. So many villagers have been killed. You will not eat any human being. You stay in this hole. Under the tamal tree, the hole that is there, you stay under this hole, but you will not kill anyone. So the snake, he said that, my dear Lord, that is okay, but where will I get my bhojan from? Where will I get my prasadam from? If you are not asking me to go out, you are saying not to kill human beings, then what will I eat? Nityananda Prabhu says, you don't worry about that. People will come here and offer. They will offer rice, dal, and whatever it is, but you will not devour any human being. So he says, okay. Now the instruction is coming from his master because he is a snake and Nityananda Prabhu is Ananta Shesh, the king of all snakes. The instruction is coming from his master. He says, okay, I will do as you say, my dear Lord. And now the snake was in that hole. And Nityananda Prabhu, in order to make sure that the snake doesn't come out very freely, Nityananda Prabhu takes one of his golden earrings and places it on the mouth of the hole, almost to seal the hole, telling the snake, you will not come out from here. This is the order from the master to the servant. You will not leave from here. So Nitai takes one of his earrings and puts it, golden earring, puts it in the mouth of that hole to almost seal that hole. And dear devotees, that is when Nityananda Prabhu has a name called as Eka-Kundala Nitai. He wears only one earring from this pastime. This is such an interesting pastime which goes back and forth from Kali Yuga to Dwapar Yuga back to Kali Yuga. And even till this date, we find Nityananda Prabhu many times, devotees have experiences where they try to put two earrings, but somehow one earring keeps falling. So don't worry, that is parampara. He's called as Eka-Kundala Nitai. He wears only one earring. And now we find over a period of time that earring has become big, and it is a big rock. It's a big stone over which we have a temple, which is called as Kundali Gram. Even now it is there, and devotees come and they offer their respects to the Supreme Lord. So the pastime where Eka-Kundala happened. So this is Shastrik. He's called as Eka-Kundala Nitai. And likewise, one time there was a big field and many laborers were working. So remember we spoke about Bankarai, Nityananda Prabhu's brother. So he told all the laborers that you please go home and you take some rest. It's time, lunchtime, you go and take rest. There were many weeds in that field, so they needed to be removed. So the laborer said that we will finish this and go. And Bankarai said, no. You have your lunch. It's lunchtime. You have, and after you come, we can do. Koi jaldi nahi. The laborer said, okay. And as they went, Bankarai, in that 1 hour that was there, he removed the weeds of the whole field. Something that 50 men couldn't do all alone. He did it all by himself, single-handedly. And now when the laborers came, they couldn't see him. They couldn't see Bankarai. They couldn't see Bankim Rai. So they were looking here and there and they couldn't find. And now this news went to Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu came there. News went to Hadai Pandit. The news went to Padmavati Devi. They all came and they couldn't find. Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi couldn't find their own son. So now they were tensed. They were perplexed. And they heard a celestial sound just like you have in Krishna Leela. When Devaki Maya and Vasudeva Maharaj hear a celestial sound. Likewise, they also hear where Bankim Rai, he says, that I have disappeared from this world. My time is done and I have disappeared from this world. But on the coming Ekadashi that will be there in another few days, on that Ekadashi, in the neighboring river, you will find a log of food that will be floating. Take that log of food and carve a deity. Carve my deity. And you can worship me in that form, in that mood. So exactly on the day of Ekadashi, there was a log of wood that was floating. And Nityananda Prabhu personally took that log of food and carved a deity out of it, which is the present day Bankim Rai. So Bankim basically means three bent and Rai is Radharani. So Radharani is in the heart of Krishna, Bankim Rai. And it is Bankim Rai deity that Nityananda Prabhu chose to leave this world. How did Nityananda Prabhu depart this world? Just like Bankim Rai disappeared and no one had any idea, Nityananda Prabhu entered the deity of Bankim Rai and never came out. Because death is something which is there in the material body, but Nitai's body is spiritual. So he will not leave a body like all of us. What to speak of all of us? Even his devotees don't leave body, like Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj never left a body in this world. Narottam Das Thakur never left a body in this world. When final days of Narottam Das Thakur was there, he was not feeling well. So his servant was massaging him on the banks of Ganga. And as he was massaging Narottam Das Thakur's body melted and it transformed into milk. And that milk merged with the waters of Ganga. And that's how Narottam Das Thakur departed. He never left a mortal body in this world. So even now, when we go to Radha Gokulanand Mandir in Vrindavan Dham, it is not his actual samadhi. It's the Pushpa Samadhi, the flowers that was offered to the milk which merged with Ganga Devi. So what to speak of Supreme Lord? His devotees also many times don't leave a body in this world. So Nityananda Prabhu, likewise, following the footsteps of his brother, this disappeared. Bankim Rai disappeared, and Nityananda Prabhu, who carved a deity of Bankim Rai, he entered the deity to never come out. Now this is the Gaudi understanding. Now if you go to Maharashtra, you have the Varkari Sampradaya, who follow Rukmini and Vittal. They're called the Varkaris. In the Varkari tradition, it is believed, so when we go to Pandharpur, we have Chandrabhaga river, which is very prominent and very considered very holy. By the kind arrangement of His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, we have a Prabhupada Ghat there at Chandrabhaga river, where our ISKCON devotees go and take bath. So the Varkaris, the followers of Vitthal and Rukmini, they believe that Nityananda Prabhu jumped into Chandrabhaga river and never came out. That's the Varkari understanding. And the Gaudi understanding, which we stick to, is Nitai entered Bankim Rai and never came out. When Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj was asked, Gaur Govinda Maharaj said that Nityananda Prabhu entered Bankim Rai and never came out. So that's the Gaudi understanding we stick to. But also, we may hear the Varkari side of it, that Nityananda Prabhu jumped into Chandrabhaga and he never came out. So in this way, we find there are so many wonderful, sweet pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, which happened even during his childhood. But of course, time is always a factor that is always binding us, where we cannot discuss more than the stipulated time. But nonetheless, we discuss as to how Nityananda Prabhu and why Nityananda Prabhu is called as Eka-Kundala Nitai, the pastime of having one earring, and what's the idea of Bankim Rai deity, and how Nityananda Prabhu decided to leave this world by entering the deity of Bankim Rai. Likewise, we find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also departed this world by entering the world of the deity of Tota Gopinath. Gadadhar Pandit, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit were there near the ocean in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was moving his hand in the sand. And as he was moving his hand in the sand, his hand hit something. So he called Gadadhar, that Gadadhar, please come. And when Gadadhar came, both of them put their hand inside sand. And what came out was the deity of Tota Gopinath. So Tota Gopinath. Gopinath means Gopinath, the Lord of Gopis. And Tota means garden. So because it was found near garden, near the ocean shore, is called as Tota Gopinath. Likewise, we have Lord Shiva, they're called as Yameshwar Tot. From Yameshwar Tot comes Tota Gopinath. So Tota means garden and Gopinath. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world. Gadadhar was always serving Tota Gopinath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come to Gadadhar, and sitting near the deity of Tota Gopinath, they would discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. And as Gadadhar was Srimati Radharani would explain the deep mysteries of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming down to taste the mood of Radharani would cry hearing the explanations of Gadadhar Pandit. Complete transcendental madness at Jagannath Puri. The golden volcano was erupting by the presence of Gadadhar Pandit. And finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in mood of Radharani, Radha Bhav, runs towards Gopinath because Gopinath is Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Radharani, goes to meet Gopinath, and as he's running, he enters the deity and never comes out. So when Gadadhar gets to know, this is heartbreaking for Gadadhar because Gadadhar is Srimati Radharani. And all this while Gadadhar was in Jagannath Puri. He had taken Kshetra Sannyas because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. But now the Lord of his life had departed this world. So it is believed that as Gadadhar was getting old, he was not able to serve Gopinath the way he used to. So for him, Gopinath sat down cross-legged that, my dear Gadadhar, if you are not able to serve because of me standing, I will sit down for you. So those who have been to Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri will see that the Lord is sitting down. Seeing the love of Gadadhar Pandit, Bhagavan bed gaye, that I will sit down. So now you can easily tie pagdi for me or do any shringar that you want. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves this world by entering Tota Gopinath, and Nityananda Prabhu leaves this world by entering Bankim Rai. Having said this, we stop here, and let's hope and pray that tomorrow's most auspicious Nityananda Trayodashi is most purifying and most uplifting for all of us. May we always remember Nitai, and may we never forget Nitai. He no Nitai Vinay Bhai, Radha Krishna Pahite Nai, Druda Kori Dharo Nitai Pai. Se Sambandha Nahi Jar, Bhrito Janma Gelo Tar, Sei Pashu Bado Durachar. If someone has not, through all his education, if he has not learned the art of chanting Nityananda Prabhu's name, what has he gained? And on the flip side, if someone is not educated but knows to chant the name of Nitai, if he's constantly chanting Nitai, 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 then he has learned everything. Always remember Nitai and never forget Nitai. Nityananda Trayodashi ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Eka-Kundala Nitai ki jai, Shri Bankim Rai ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Tota Gopinath ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande,